The key to building and sustaining a successful life insurance agency comes down to the compounding growth. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly what that is. My name is Trey. I'm the owner of Agent Lead Lab. In the past 3.5 years, we've helped 550 agents issue pay $40,000 a month. And on this channel, all we try to do is talk about the behaviors, tactics, and strategies of those individuals, what they've done, and agencies that we partner with, and essentially how you as an agent or agency owner watching this can implement those same tactics completely for free by watching this channel. As always, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and we're going to hop right in. All right, perfect. So today I'm going to break down something I think super important. And the reason why I'm breaking that down is for those who don't know, I am at a FFL convention this weekend. So, I have to make sure I keep the videos up. But one of the things I want to talk about is compounding growth and teams that hit the mark. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because yesterday, one of my clients actually invited me to, me and my team actually, to a basketball game, right? And as you all know, those who watch this channel, I try to bring real life stories and talk about how they relate to being successful as a life insurance agent or an agency owner. And at the event, I'm thinking that, it's just him and a few of his agents. He brings all of his agents. Now, for some people, they'll look at that and say like, oh yeah, like that's cool. But I see that as leadership. Now, the reason I see that as leadership is because regardless of if those people have been to basketball games, they like basketball, it doesn't necessarily matter. But there's this principle that a lot of companies embody. It's called leading from the front. Now, I think that to some people just means like write a lot of business and be the one that's producing the most. I do 100% think that is essential, because if people don't see you doing what you're asking them to do, then it doesn't really matter. But if they can see that consistency, it builds confidence. Now, there's another side to it that is you pour into somebody one time and they believe and rock with you for the long haul. On the other end, I know agents and agencies that do nothing for their agents, and they still would like nothing else but for those agents or agency owners to like show them a little bit of something. Hey man, like look out for them. There's certain people that are coming to these conventions and to these events where their flights aren't getting paid for, where their hotels not getting paid for, where their dinners not getting paid for, where they're not going to a basketball game. Now I use him as an example, but you could use numerous others. And it's not for anything else but the genuineness of knowing that there's a compounding effect. Now, most people think that it's super linear, right? So when I say linear, here's what I mean. So by linear, I'm referring to, I'm one agent. I write, $50,000 in premium per month. And then I go find another agent and they write 50,000. And they're like, oh my goodness, it's going to be this super slow, long process to get to $1 million a month, 200,000 a month, 5 million a month. But what people don't realize is I have a YouTube video from about 2 weeks ago explaining this and how it works with leads, because it is super important when and those who didn't see that, you can go back and watch it. I talked about the power of turning fresh leads into aged leads, the power of compounding effect, and how those numbers, when done properly and structured properly, can allow your agency to grow without you having to have new agents come in and spend a lot on leads. And then you get them to fresh leads, because fresh leads is how you actually scale. You can scale with age, but you would need, an infinite amount with a company that could either generate them and they're not even aged at that point. You're just lower costing fresh leads. And there are companies that do that. Some of them do a really good job. And for those that know, kudos to them. And I, respect them for that. But for most people, they are not able to accomplish that. They're cheaper leads, or the leads that are sub $10 around the country, if you're a life insurance agent, are going to be age leads, right? And then you try to scale your business that way. Then you look at the cost to acquire a client. For those who watch my channel, I break that down. And the numbers relatively are lower, obviously, but you're spending more time. And then there's burnout. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is, well, they're like, okay, Trey, well, cool. What you're saying is then like I get them on fresh and blah, 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 and I get them to 50K, but it's going to take me forever. Now, I'll give you two scenarios. When I was selling, I was part of an agency. We absolutely crushed it. We had the highest average annual premium. They still might have it in the company, but highest average annual premium per sale. It was insane. It was like $2,400. Like we were just dogging it. But our agency wasn't growing really, really fast. Not me, but like my upline, and so on and so forth. And I think we're really good at making great producers, but not the greatest at creating great agencies. The reason I say that, and I'm bringing it back to this video and even to the thing that happened yesterday, is the gentleman I'm meeting with, his team isn't writing a whole lot of business. But they will. I already know they will because he's showing the behaviors and the tendencies of a leader that's going to build a big agency. The reason why I'm talking about compounding growth and teams that hit the mark is because think about it. Most people think it's linear. I'm going to get $50,000 agent. I'm going to get another $50,000 agent. Then I'm going to get another one. Then I'm going to just keep it's like plus 5, plus 50, plus 50. But people don't realize that's addition. That's addition growth, right? But what you really have is multiplication growth. And what that looks like is you bring in one agent, or you're doing the agent, you're doing 50, right? And that's month 1. And then month 2, you got 50 plus 50. That's month 2. But then what you don't realize is that you doing 50, them doing 50, and then you pouring into them, which goes back to the reference of the basketball game. Now what's going to happen is a few things. Most agencies don't have 2 people. I'm just talking about 2 people that have 50. But if I hit 50 and this person hits 50 and they're pouring into me and they believe in me and I just need that little, like it's called borrowed confidence. It's like it's what mentorship is. People think about mentorship and they're like, oh yeah, I was paying for a mentor, like show me things. No, you're paying a mentor to borrow their confidence about decisions that you haven't made. So they've made those decisions before you. And now you're like, okay, cool. So if somebody's doing 50K, they're just doing different behaviors than you. They're not like superhuman. Like we're all human, right? It's like, okay, they either watch more YouTube videos and practice their script differently. They either get up at a certain time and do this. They either dial this way or work these leads. And a lot of times it's just they're making decisions that you haven't. And that's okay. But for some people, they just need to borrow the confidence to make those decisions. Because a lot of times it's just making sacrifices. Like getting up a lot earlier to go be at the office at 7 instead of 7:45. Most people are like, it's only 45 minutes. Okay, well, if you think about it, 45 minutes over days compounds, right? So month 1, you guys might all start and be doing 10K, but month 2, he goes to 30 and you're at like 12. And then month 3, he's at 50 and you're at like 20, right? And then you never really get past it because his 45 minutes early is beating you over a long period of time, right? That's just the power of consistency. But what happens is, with the mentor in the group, because your upline should be relatively kind of like your mentor. So I'm using this analogy because now you have a $50,000 producer who is leading from the front. Cool. Everybody understands that. But then he's pouring into his team, right? Well, pouring into his team is going out to events, making sure that things are paid for, because what's going to happen is they're going to borrow your confidence to do the behaviors that you probably want them to do, which is going to make the business grow. Somebody doesn't want to recruit, right? But then they see you recruiting and you're just like, yeah, recruit, build a big business. Like, okay, you're going to have people that just hop on. But then you're going to have other people who need to borrow your confidence and need to be poured into for you to believe like this can work for you. Because some people, just because they can see it with their eyes, they don't necessarily believe it in their heart. So when it's mentorship, real guidance should be, dude, you can do this too, but let me show you. And sometimes they still don't do it. So it's like, I believe in you. And I believe in you comes in a lot of different forms. And I rock with you also comes in a lot of different forms. Because people just need to be motivated enough to move on their own. Because you can tell people things all day long. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up, and we talk about 40K months on this channel and why it's so important, is because if I get 50K and 50K, what's going to happen is you have more agents in your agency. You're not just going to have one 50K producer and another. You're going to have some part-timers, some people that are kind of licensed and not doing their thing. If you get those people to an event or you bring those, what do you think is typically going to happen? They're going to be like, yo, this dude believes in me, right? And they're going to listen to you. They're going to be more adherent to what you're telling them. So they're going to probably move with a little bit more sense of urgency when you're like, buy these leads, work like this, dial like this, show up like this, because there's trust there, right? It's an investment, but it's a different type of investment. People think it's like, oh, we're just going to go team bonding. Team bonding is for the future growth. It's for the things you can't see. It's for the multiplication that now says, okay, you got 50 plus 50, but now you have this guy that was doing like 5K, he's doing 20K. And then you have another person that was doing 20K that's doing like 40K. Okay, so cool. You only went up a little bit. But here's the next thing. Now you do that again. So now you still got your 50, right? You're going to do plus 50, right? You're still going to have your 20, your 40, and now you're going to start bringing on more people. And it's not going to be because you went out and recruited more. It's going to be because the people that you have start producing. See, there's 2 different type of ways that what I've learned working with a ton of different agencies, there's 2 different type of ways you can grow. You can grow by getting a lot of numbers, a lot of people that write a little bit, or you can grow by having not as many people. So theoretically, let's say somebody has 500 agents, somebody has 100, right? But these 500 agents, they've got 10 or 15 people crushing it, and everybody else is just kind of. And then these 100 people, but it's like 60 of these people are crushing it, and the other 40 are like, huh. Well, they actually make more money, right? More premium, have a smaller agency per numbers, but they're actually more profitable, because they pour into each agent, and then that agent does really well, so they grow, and they think multiplication. They pay for things. They like people think that that's so. They're like, oh well, like what's that really doing? But you don't understand the power of that. Like one moment can change something for somebody if they haven't been exposed. So once again, I'm only using this basketball because I don't know if this guy's agents have been doing hoop game. They probably have. It's nothing crazy, but that's the point. It's nothing crazy, and it's for the fact of like I'm just trying to kick it with y'all. That's all that says. And in this industry, people don't realize that people know you're making money when they make money. That's okay. They understand that. What they don't like is when you're making money, when I'm making money, but you're not really providing any value to me, but you're getting something from me. That's not an even exchange. It's like anything in life. It's like, okay, I give you this, but you don't give me anything in return. So I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. But the difference is you do that over and over and over again, and month after month after month, and you give me nothing back in return. It's like, what do you think's gonna happen? It's respect. Like, dude, I appreciate you putting me on the game, but like, you have to earn it. People always say like, earn your override, and I think that that's super important because that's the difference. When I work with these agencies, I look at it and I'm like, dude, you're not gonna grow. I won't ever tell them that respectfully, and unless they ask me, excuse me. But the reason why I know that is because I've been around everything. Like I'm like, yeah, that's probably not gonna work. That's gonna work. That will probably work. And most people try to accomplish a goal by doing the things that the inputs and outputs that are necessary from a sales standpoint. Great. But they don't do the things that are not necessarily associated with sales. You taking your team to a basketball game has nothing to do with sales, but it does have something to do with sales. It's not linear. That's why I started off by saying this is not a linear equation. It's not like, okay, get them to do this, get them to do this, get them to do this. They're going to make this much money. Yeah, some people want to focus only on that, and that's cool. But there are so many things that are not linear, right? Where it's like, okay, cool. Well, like I bring them here, and then somehow my agency grew by it doubled because I started taking my team to an event, and I felt like I was losing money, but I was actually gaining money. Because now when I wasn't around, they borrowed my belief. And when I told them things, they probably did it and they trusted me a little bit more, and it made them move over the hump of what they were normally doing. So now behind closed doors, they're recruiting more. Behind closed doors, they're selling more. Behind closed doors, they're becoming more disciplined. Behind closed doors, they're becoming a better man or a better woman. And they're like, right, like that's how it works. That's how you grow. And I only know that because the reason I know that outside of this event, and I'm recording this video, and this is a short one today, guys, because I got a few things to do, but the reason why I know that is because when I played football, I learned really quickly that the teams that were the most successful were the teams that were the closest. People were like, oh, yeah, this team's talented, but they suck. It's like, yeah, dude, because they're not cool. And you're like, well, what does that really matter? Like, they have all the athletes. It's like, okay, well, let's role play here, right? Most sports and most competitive team things come down to small, minute details. Because in most team environments, if there's some sort of and I'm using life insurance as a team environment because I look at team environments and team sports as there are typically a set of rules, not individual. So this is not going to go for like business, like traditional business, because in traditional business, you have like SaaS companies, you have service based, you have product based. So there's some people that have like no staff. You could be an a-hole, like relatively speaking, right? And you can still be that type of guy. But here's the thing. If you and your team aren't genuinely close, when push comes to shove, you may make money. You may crush it a little bit. But when you come up to like a real big dog that actually has his team's rocking with him, it's a whole nother ballgame. So a lot of people just try to compete off of like, once again, input, output, which I'm a firm believer. I love the numbers. But there's also a place, I think the numbers are a lot more important as an individual agent, but as an agency, the numbers are, because you got to think in the life insurance space, it's not like traditional business. All encompassing business is just really numbers, truthfully. The emotion is completely out of it. But as an agency, the only reason it's kind of not is because you're working with it's a business made out of 1099 individuals, which means it's a business made out of a bunch of little mini businesses, which means that you're not in full control. Like you're not like, oh yeah, I control the paycheck. I can do this. I can do that. I can create systems, right? Like it's not set up that way. Like in my role, it's like, okay, cool. I have like a marketing team. I have a back end team. I have a fulfillment team. I have a sales team, right? And it's like I can move and adjust people as necessary to help the business grow. Put this person in this place to help them make more money. Take this person from this place to make them make a little less money to put it over here so the business can grow. You can't do that with life insurance. Everybody's individual. You can't like be like, yeah, carrier. You know what? You can change their comp, but do you think they're gonna stay with you? Like, no, they're gonna leave. You don't really have, and then you can't really control their input output. You can just tell them what to do. So the only way that you can control their input output is by doing what? It's by coming together and creating a team culture. It's just like football. It's just like basketball. Every player is their own little mini business. Yes, they're a part of a team, and you can say you have a GM and stuff like that, but the input output is directly correlated. Dude, when they're not around all offseason, your team grows because of a bunch of individuals that are training, and then they come together and become a team. It's just like a bunch of individuals who are life insurance agents, and then they come together and they become an agency. These people work, they do this, they create a culture. But it's not as simple as just like, yeah, man, we're just slinging insurance. It's like, okay, yeah, that's cool. But if you really want to grow, you want to have multiplication, you're just going to be doing addition. I've been a part of it, bro. You have a bunch of people crushing it, but you won't have any sort of multiplication. The real game is to have a high valued sales culture that knows how to push high premium and close people on concepts at a high level, high clip. I know I'm a big mortgage protection homeowner guy, so I just like the homeowner demographic, but you can do any demographic with that, genuinely. Final expense probably wouldn't be the best, but you could do that. And then at the same time, build an insane, like family-based culture where people actually rock with each other. Because that will change everything. They'll post better. They'll have more smart. Like, dude, you will grow so fast. And the people that grow like that and they're profitable, that's what they do. That's all they focus on. Genuinely. So, as always, this is a shorter one, guys. I got some stuff to do before we slide up out of here. But please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. If you are an individual agent and you're looking for leads, we have $1 to $55 lead options. You can go to leadlabcrm.com. You're going to fill out the lead request. From there, somebody from our team will reach out to you and send you an invoice. If you have questions, all the answers are on agentleadlab.com. Please don't fill out the request, get on a call and be like, oh yeah, man, I just want to think about it. It's like, dude, all the information's on the website, bro. Just read. Honestly, and I'm not trying to be rude, but I am trying to be rude at the same time. It's like, just read. All the information's on there. There's really nothing outside of it that you need. If you well, does this work? Go to the website. There's over 260 videos, not like these little fake things that everybody else does, like legit videos of me and an agent or agents that are working with myself, breaking down exactly how they're successful. Black, white, Latino, in between, doesn't matter, small, fat, skinny, it doesn't make a difference, right? Like every type of person is on there, right? And I'm sorry for saying fat, I apologize. Heavier weight individuals on there. And if you're an agency owner and you want to partner up, right? We have what's called our Apex. It starts at $5K to $10K a month. That's our retainer. We're going to run your ads and build you a go high level. Don't overcomplicate it, right? You're hiring us as staff. You got to pay for ad spend. If that's outside your budget and it does not make sense, please don't even book a call. Just trying to be honest. And I'm not even saying that to be rude. It's just like, if you're not at that point, just buy leads. If you're like, yo, I just want to get discounted leads, dude, buy some leads, run them, make some money, and then be like, hey, I have an agency. And then we can talk about what that looks like. We have a little free partnership. But if you want us to you want to hire us to build you dude, I want my own leads and everything, cool. That's what that package is for. 5 to 10K a month plus ad spend. So please don't, hop on the call and be like, what's the price? It's like, I've already told you the price. And on top of that, if you're not doing, 400 or 500K with, 3 to 5 writers doing 20 to 30K a month, there's really no point in you even applying. Because even if you want to do it, it's not going to work. So I did it for a whole year last year. Now we're at, basically it's been since last January I started doing Apex. I'm at the point where I'm actually letting people go, and I don't care, respectfully. And I say that because it's just not a fit for everybody. It doesn't make sense to drop $5,000 plus, advertising spend when you only got 3 writers actually writing business and nobody trying to tap in and grow. And you're like, dude, I just want age leads. It's like, brother, come on, man. Wait, just save yourself some time. You know what I mean? And I'm super transparent for those that watch, and I've gotten this far in the video. So as always, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.